points to be had. Now, if he can hit top 15, 5 points for placement total for him. You see him there on the left side of your screen, but on the right, again, just a refresher, are all the placement thresholds. Every elim is a point. Down below, Mouse 1 toggler in very critical condition. Justin here on the right side of your screen. He's looking pretty healthy. Ethan down below as well is pretty hurt. Justin, though, 1 elim, 9 builds left. Someone hops out of a ball looking to challenge. He gets a great trade out, and he does have the half shield to top himself back off.
I like that.
Dude, he needs to find something.
I like the no hesitation on immediately popping the half shield. You've got zone moving. You want as much help as possible at this point in the game. You don't have a lot of builds. Literally every engagement, you need any advantage possible, and right now 50 more shield could make all the difference. Justin, 3 builds remaining. Player keeping him outside the zone. Great shot onto Free G. We'll grab at least 15 builds.
Oh, that's not much. A failed edit there is going to cost him 10 points of HP for the mistake there. He does have the launch pad, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be right now. Okay, all right.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's not helpful when it's inside your own box. And now with no builds left, Justin is in a point of panic. Yeah, down it goes. A little bit frantic right there. Dropped down the wrong trap, and because of it, does go down. So 8 players left in this game as we continue to push on through towards seeing who will get the victory royale. You've got Sealmat a level below Tavern. Tavern now beginning to put pressure on. And we'll drop the player down lower. Smart play, keeps high ground, much more safe. Less of an opportunity of someone challenging.
He sees the white damage numbers on the player over one in that 1x1. More damage numbers. Those are blue, so remember those are shield damage numbers. Gonna start to drop back down. This is good. Rejoin everyone else down below playing Fortnite. Now, where is this player? He's hunting them down, Perch. He's still hungry. Yeah. He's on the 8 elims. You got to think he's trying to break that double digits.
I'm wondering if he's worried about this. This build above. Someone did just land on height. That's what I was questioning for a second. Does get challenged, but it's Sinew, and Tavern gets the better of him right there. I thought that was going to spell disaster for Tavern, but it does not. And now we're down to our top 3. Hellboy, Sealmat, and Tavern fighting for the top spot.
And someone like Sealmat's been in these positions, right? He's made it into your top 3 several times. He knows how to battle this out. Immediately, look at that. Shuts down Hellboy in the 1v1. Now, Tavern standing between him and the 3 extra points from the victory royale. Tavern in the right side of your top right. Sealmat in the bottom right there. Now, if Tavern picks this up, this is a 20-point game for him. If Matt picks it up, it's a 16-point game. And it's Sealmat who's going to take the game away. Again, Sealmat's been in these positions before. He knows exactly how to capitalize and how to shut other players down.
And with how quick that player left, I assume they're trying to rush back into
hop back into
queue before that. Because remember, we are looking back about 10-15 minutes ago to where these last games were starting. Probably trying to frantically hop on in. 37 players left in this one. Again, we will have your final placings and the standings here after these last couple games. We'll show you every single person who qualified across the world for the solos competition. Now that we'll know every single one of the 100 players. It's incredible to think about, Zeke. We've made it here. Lupa put it best. The last 2.5 months have led to this point.
That's right, man. 2 spots in NA West, and man, just to think about it, you know, so many players have worked so hard. They've continued to grow over the course of the current 9 weeks. When we do hit that final week of duos, it will be 10 weeks. Just to see everyone grow, improve, level up, it's been a journey, you know. And I think at the end of the day, that's something to look back on and say, you know what, I'm nasty now.
I'm nasty now.
My gameplay is soggy.
It is soggy. People have very soggy gameplay out there.
I've heard about that. Yeah. I've heard many people say that. No Dr. Luke, but I've heard people say that. You're just old right now. That's all it is. 35 players in the current lobby. 10 more need to fall before top 25. Flock's inventory.
Uh-oh, it seems like this player in the wood box here has been the one deemed from everyone. Attention towards Frost. As unfortunately, there's no way you're stopping that much spam, my friend. Now, players continuing to prepare for these storms to begin to move.
Here we go. Hopping down below, you see WBG Viz here. I'm curious to see what the loadout. You can see he's got the heavy sniper. Look at this. Golds for days.
He's played solid gold mode. I think that's what's happening right here.
He's got himself the bandages if things get a little bit dicey, and of course the minis are going to help as well. Nothing in the ways of mobility, at least it doesn't appear that way. unless he does have launch pads and that visual bug is just hiding them from us. Makes things more intense. 31 players left. Hops in! S2's Mo just gets demolished.
Clean shot with the combat shotty right there. One clean motion. You love seeing stuff like that. Legendary combat shotgun just showing how good it is. Whether it's up close and personal or from medium to longer ranges, still gets the job done. Rifts going off, launch pads being placed, shadow bombs being popped. It's an all-out sprint to the next zone as people fight for the best position.
The question would be, where do we go from here? Do we keep going south into Neil Tilted? Now, I believe Pasty there is going to be picked up due to storm damage. Zenst here must have gotten a little bit of damage over on that player. Don't forget that new timer is up to 60 seconds. If someone is eliminated, you get that elimination credit. It's very, very helpful there. It's securing things. 28 players. Sense is sensing himself in top 25. Boom, immediately there.
That was a stretch. We can agree.
All right, I'll give it.
Sense is sensing himself for the top 25.
I didn't expect it to just pop there. It was like 3 people were just instantly eliminated, so I just kind of jumped the gun. I should have made the joke a little earlier there. Macy here going to be picked up. Rusian going to be picked up. And look at this. Sense up on the high ground. Well, you know, this is his high ground now.
Yeah, I guess that's how that works. Playing from height, drum gun, 600 shots.
Wow.
On the high ground.
You know, the shotgun ammo, it's a little sparse right now. 25, it's enough to get the job done, but he can't spend too many, you know, if players are rifting up at this guy, he can't send extra out. On
height at this point is actually where you'd go through the majority of your shotgun ammo, so I completely agree. You might be thinking, well, there's only like 15 people left. How much ammo could you really need? Well, when you have height in the late game, when everyone's flying around and you're putting shots down range,
you're using at least 3.
The custom is using shotgun ammo. But as I say that, he puts the drum gun to use, so Zen's keeping watch of that ammo himself, making the best plays possible with the different weapons in his arsenal.
He does have the 600 rounds. You mentioned it earlier, a 50 drum mag over on the drum gun. He's going to start putting it to work here, just trying to harass Flick, making him, you know, trying to dictate what Flick is doing, how he's moving, and when. Observers, you guys are just showing off here in the final few moments of this game. 10 players left. Viz finds Flick, though, with a Flick shot. I don't know what's going on here right now. 7 eliminations over on Viz.
I respect it.
You know, I just feel like
my box.
Double 80s. Navi BB. I'm sorry. It's going to be back to lobby for you, BB.
Maxed out brick from that, too. So back up to over 50 builds. One player just in front. Again, you can tell Viz has the same mindset as what we saw earlier from Arkham. I have to challenge every player if I want to qualify. At this point, I need the best. I need every elim here, plus a victory royale if I want to have any chance.
And you know these players are actively looking at the leaderboard. They're actively pulling up and saying, where am I? Who is ahead of me? How many points do I need to close that distance? Or how many do I need to jump up? Am I in contention? Are we at tiebreakers? What is the difference right now? He's going to drop down immediately. Finds an elimination. Lopez 8, or Lopeza YouTube.
Up the mountain.
All right, Sense still up on the high ground. Viz there closing the gap. Crayon there as well. Proverbs, he's got himself, the ball gets cracked, and look at this HP. He isn't critical. He's going to fall there. 3 players left, Courage.
Yeah, Viz on the bottom right of your screen. Zen still playing from the high ground. Crayon with shots coming in. All challenges come on to Viz, and Zen just says, hey, you guys fight. I'll come clean up whoever's left, and that's exactly what happens. Ending the game with a max 200 HP. Brilliantly done right there from Zenz. Keeping the height and dropping in when the time comes. Doesn't get much better than that as we prepare for our next game. Zeke, I think we're coming down towards the end here. Are you going to shed a tear?
Probably, man. Probably. It's so strange to think about. I remember at the beginning of all this, I was like, man, 10 weeks, you know, that's a long time. I did it before in Summer Skirmish, and it was long, and you know, I blinked, and then suddenly here we are, week 9. It's almost all said and done. Of course, we still have the finals that I'm, of course, looking forward to.
I don't think I've ever been more excited for an event than the World Cup Finals.
Man.
It is going to be absolutely insane.
I don't think the Fortnite fam is ready for how crazy the finals are going to be.
Yeah. It should be nuts. I know, I'm sure Epic's going to pull out all the stops for it, make sure it's quite the spectacle because, man, $30 million in prize money or whatever it is, plus the beautiful venue we're going to be in, New York City, the height of the summer. I mean, are you kidding me?
I look forward to it. Think about it often. And, of course, you know, it's going to be super fun casting those games. But for now, we got to live in the moment, Courage. We got to see what's going on with these players. Blixifier, he's on the 3 limbs. There's still 40 other players he could potentially, you know, devour for more points. One here. Nishi is just going to get picked off immediately. Look at this. Baller just going to go over, pick up all the loot. You know, okay, I was going to say, if I'm someone else watching this, you got to crack the Baller immediately. Don't let him get away with this for free. At least break the Baller, force him to use those materials he just picked up, and that is exactly what happens.
The Baller health updates have been great. They've made them much more reasonable and competitive, and you see right there, a moment one player can peek on out and just immediately cut down that Baller, and now one less is available. Looking at the full lobby, Nolan, 42 points. And knowing where some of the other players are stacking up point-wise, Nolan's probably a little bit far off from qualifying. Would need maybe the best game ever from here on out.
I mean, he would need to start a spree immediately. Looking at the loadout, it's a little sparse. I mean, dualies are great, but you just got to make sure you're up close, you're landing those headshots, and you can just shred someone's HP.
Yep.
Someone goes for the challenge of 127 with the tack. The dualies are coming out. He wants to challenge, going to go try and punch through this metal. He needs to try and do it fast. Do not let the HP bar tick up. He gets the wall replaced. The player defensively comes out with the wall ramp. Look at this. They're hugging, and another ramp comes out. The trap against the wall. Okay.
Dodges.
It's okay.
Dodges.
It's fine.
Dodges. These are the best players in the world. Zeke, they know how to dodge those traps. 29 players left.
You ever feel like it's like, you know, when you go to like a movie and you put on the 3D glasses and it's like it's in your face? That's what happens every time a trap comes out. I think it's like
right there.
It's going to be me that's eliminated.
Yeah.
I get like flashbacks of all the times I've been eliminated via traps. All too many.
Dude, they are the most, like, the toughest way to drop. It used to be like much more humiliating what had happened because the trap used to have to be placed on a fully set wall. And it would take the time to obviously go with that. But now, with how fast the traps can go down for 150 damage, they're one of the best defensive tools when someone's aggressively pushing into your box. And that's a beautiful rocket right there.
Wow. The massive, that was huge. Blixifier shut down. And if that was his last game, that's it. He cannot rack up any more points.
Nope.
Great angle there. Caminus there on just below the tarp. Zed there. Oh my gosh, look at the HP, just gone. That's it. Vinny Recon there. So many names. Maximos in this. Harrians is in this. People contesting for those 2 spots available. And look at this, we hop in, of course, with Harrians. 3 elims.
71 points.
This could go any way, man. If Harrians could just drop a massive game here, find elims, at least 5 more, let's say, at minimum.
I mean, have we seen anyone near 80 points? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So obviously we don't know the official standings yet. We'll give them to you in just a few minutes. But right now, looking at all things considered, Harrians has been in the top 10 throughout the day. Right now, still at 73 points as he gets 2 more for placing top 15. Tries to drop the player in from up top. 9 builds left. Harrians wants to pop this other mini. And from here on out, I think it's going to all come down to just good use of the weapons that he has. Tack shotgun comes in. Only gets a brief little tag. Nothing too much on that player down below. You shadow bomb away. Harrians cannot finish up that elimination. He's made it to the top 11. Now challenges all the way to the low ground. A rocket does connect, but he gets some health on the elim. Knight, though, takes Harrians down from the back. And here are your final 9 players in this game. Barrel all the way on the high ground.
So we got to remember, 75 points is where Harrians is at right now. As we look at other players, just peek down. So Nolan is right now 49. He's very well and far away from Harrion. So right now, I think, I don't remember the standings. I've been so focused on these games. Nolan here, he needs to make the play of his life. Knight goes down. Nolan is 1 elimination away. There he goes. Herbley goes down to Tokata. Shuts him down. He's got the placement points. He needs to make the play of his life right now, Courage.
Starts with that. First shots come in. Rocket now out. Second elimination comes through.
He got both.
Siege J goes down. Nolan, 53 points again. Still don't think it's going to be enough, but at this point, it's valiant efforts. Playing for pride. Rocket comes through. Does it knock a player down? Only 1 build left. He hears the mini being popped. He knows the person's got to be weak. Oh, they're just below. Great challenge from...
Oh, my God. The flick shot over on Barrel.
Cracks him right there. The tree up above. Is this about to drop this player down?
I believe so.
Does it drop the player down?
Yeah, it should, unless he's got builds.
Run break.
Here he comes! Oh my God!
Wow. A clean shot from Nolan on the Takata, the victory royale. Unfortunately for him, 58 points, probably not enough. Either way, great final performance.
Absolutely mind-blowing games out of NA West. But for now, guys, we're going to send it back in the studio. Let's go meet up with Dr. Lupo and see what's up.
NA West, absolutely ridiculous. Nolan literally owning the entire endgame there, putting on an excellent show. The choice to rocket at just the right time, drop players in from above. Wild combat shotgun shots. You love to see it. And that actually is the final game for NA West that we're going to show you, which means it's time to take a look at the standings in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to throw to a break. Sorry to debate you a little bit, but I had to do it. We'll be here when you come back. See you in 10.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we're going to cover some of the basic terminology you should know when watching competitive Fortnite. If you're familiar with high-level gameplay, these should be commonplace and a nice little refresher. If you're a little newer, buckle in because you're about to learn up. Rotations. A rotation is the path a player or team takes to get from their current location to the next safe zone. Rotations cover not only the direction the players choose to path, but also the method they use to get there. A lot of different forms of utility enable rotations, including vehicles, rift-to-goes, building, shadow bombs, and glider redeploy. A player's ability to rotate effectively is key because this determines what type of engagements they'll be facing and whether or not they're at an advantage or disadvantage. Gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is when a player who is secure inside the safe zone puts pressure on an opponent who is forced to rotate because of the storm closing in on them. The gatekeeper is able to get uncontested shots onto the opponent, as they are forced to move due to not wanting to take damage from the storm. You will see a lot of top players utilize this in order to create opportunities to get eliminations and points. High ground advantage. High ground advantage is when you have a height advantage over your opponent and are looking down on them. Having the high ground enables you to have more access to information and easier ability to take and hit shots. You will frequently see players battling for high ground in all stages of the game, but in particular during the late game. The ultimate high ground is generally the player or team who controls the highest level during the final circles, and they have a number of advantages. They are typically the least threatened, can decide when to drop down and start taking fights, and also have great angles to punish opponents with AoE weapons or rifle fire. Low ground warrior. The next term is the opposite of the high ground. The low ground warrior is the player looking to sweep along the ground floor, taking close quarter combat fights and forcing opponents to make the first move. This can also be efficient because it often doesn't require as many materials or as much of a risk to gain control of, but can also lead to being in a lot more chaotic of an environment. Backside of the storm. Speaking of chaotic environments, our next term is possibly the most perfect embodiment of this. The backside of the storm is when the safe zone is closing in towards a new one and the players are clustered in towards one edge. Generally, it is very high density of competitors, and you will find a lot of interactions, engagements, disengagements, and eliminations occurring at this point, particularly for those low ground warriors we just talked about. 1x1s. 1x1s are the most basic proponent of building in competitive Fortnite. This is when a player boxes themselves in using their own builds, making them safe from outside fire. This technique can be expanded on to allow for players to take control of a space around them, but it all starts with the 4 walls around you, then a floor plus ceiling that each have a pyramid on them. Tunneling. Tunneling is the first basic expansion of the 1x1s. Tunneling is when players create a tunnel out of their own builds in order to rotate safely. This is typically done by putting out floors and ceilings in either a straight or diagonal path, then covering your sides with walls as you advance. This allows players without utility to rotate for maximum safety. 90s. 90s are when players utilize vertical 90-degree rotational building in order to build upwards as fast as possible, while also remaining covered. This enables players to try and gain high ground advantage or outplay their opponent to get a quick, different angle. You'll frequently see them used in mid-game build fights or in endgame scenarios where players have to build up very quickly. This has been a quick rundown of the common competitive terms that are frequently used on broadcast. If there are any other terms you're unfamiliar with, let us know using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and asking for an explanation. We hope this helps you level up, and we'll see you all on the battle bus.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
When it actually qualified, it's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
It's still hitting me like slowly.
I was literally just laughing. Like, I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna 50,000. Oh,
there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun in it.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! What a play!
I'm incredibly grateful for Fortnite for giving me the opportunity to just pursue gaming and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun. I love it.
It's awesome. Thanks, Fortnite.
right, Fortnite fam. This is it. 9 weeks of work. 5 of those have gone to solo competition, and now we are here to find out who the final players are that will be joining us in the Fortnite World Cup. Now, first, of course, we've got this guy, Sundown. But that's what I was going to say. First, you guys have been super excited on social media. You know we love interacting with you. Let's take a look at all the exciting things you guys have been posting about. Of course, so many people qualifying, many excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Let's
An aspect.
Zero
Let's
ping.
go, baby. Zero ping, OP.
Zero ping, boys. I heard that lets you take walls easier.
Does indeed, apparently.
There you go.
This is my favorite one right here, just MQ. This is unreal. Thank you guys for believing for everything. All you need is to believe in yourself. Love you guys. Just subscribe to my YouTube right there. It's like going in a nice little emotional message and then slides the plug in.
He must
Courage
watch.
taught him well.
He literally must watch Courage JD all day.
Listen,
there you go.
Gotta know how to plug. Simple as that.
Don't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fans across the globe, we know what you're waiting for, and that is the NA West results. Who will be the 2 players that have punched their tickets and will be joining us in the World Cup Finals in New York City? You guys ready to find out?
Yes, sir.
Want to see this?
Here we go. Arkham 1X. Now, Pika, of course, is already qualified, so that means Harryans will be coming through. Congratulations to both players. Are you guys surprised? I mean, I feel like we've been seeing Harryans literally all day.
Not surprised at all. I mean, Arkham and Harryans have been fantastic. Harryans was in that top spot in the semifinal as well. The one thing to note here on the NA West leaderboards, there was a match that launched after the time window. It will end up being invalidated. It did not impact the qualification spots, but the order might change. So if you check the leaderboard out maybe tomorrow and something's a little different, that's why. So just wanted to give you a little heads up in there. But again, congratulations to all of these guys. Such incredible players snagging the final 2 spots. That's it. The solos competition is now set. The pool is there. And I mean, it's going to be absurd.
Man, cannot wait for World Cup Finals. Now, of course, guys, just to give you a refresher as to how the entire day went, let's take a look back. We'll start with Oceania, remind you guys who was qualified. That is Rona Season or Sazman. You know, it's fantastic to see this player come through. So much work, so much has gone into his trip. And now, Courage, he's made it through. He's got himself a ticket.
What a relief it must be. Obviously, it's a whole different story when you're in one of those regions where there's one spot. It's something to think about where it's like winning the lottery. You have to have everything go right, then to not only fight for it, but it's across a window. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon that you need to play through the entire day and do well. Sazman, congratulations. It was great talking with him earlier. You could just tell how excited he is.
Got anything? Oh, I thought you were going to say something. All right, moving on along. Asia. Let's take a look and refresh your memory as to who will coming through. That is Moffin XD. Again, similar story in Oceania. Actually, 1 point making the difference there. So Sexy Boy being edged out at the very end by a single point or an elimination. You hate to see it, Sundown, but still awesome.
It was so rough for Sexy Boy, too, because he got off to a really good start. And then there was, I think, his middle 5 games. He ended up only getting 3 eliminations and then was like 50-something, 40-something. So he's playing them out. Popped off in his last 3, but it wasn't enough. Best of luck to him in Week 10 in the duos competition because he's played so absurdly well. But even bigger congratulations to Riddles Moffin taking that single qualification spot, the last one coming out of Asia for solos.
Now moving on along, we've got Europe, so let's take a look at this and give you guys a fresh reminder. This is, I believe, the first time, Lupo, we've seen the top 8 just being a top 8. Not like several people that have qualified and shifting everything down.
A brand new array of players making their way in. But that being said, they're not names necessarily that we haven't seen before. We have multiple players from Lestream qualifying. Finally, one of Courage JD's go-tos every single time. Mongrel right there, smack dab in the middle at 5th. It doesn't surprise me to see who we see on the board. And it doesn't surprise me that we're having big swings in terms of players that are maybe more or less consistent, because as Fortnite develops and changes, you have people that adapt to it very quickly, some that struggle a little bit, but like you have consistent players throughout the entire event. I have to call specifically to Lestream, both those players very, very good, but all the way at the top. And Dretta, we talked about it earlier. 200s, a 600, and then out of nowhere, just smashes his way all the way to the top, first place. Love to see that.
He'll do indeed. Now, of course, guys, we're going to move on. Brazil. Monster, you and I got to hang out for that region. Clip Node. I mean, we just saw clip after clip of Clip Node there. And for him to shut out people, I know, like Red Techno Viking, people like Red Snow, the 9Z duo, members of W7M.
Yeah, it was
Clip Node, this is huge.
And I mean, and it's just so painful to see people like Techno Viking just not be able to squeeze through. Even Oli King, who had a great performance yesterday. And then today, just like coming in 6 is also a great performance back to back. So guys, you have to give respect to anyone who's been hitting these top 10 boards. This is not the end of the road for these guys.
Also, for Techno Viking, it breaks my heart to say it, but he posted a tweet afterward. There were 3 weeks where Brazil had 1 spot, and there were 2 weeks where Brazil had 2 spots. In the 3 weeks where Brazil only had a single spot, Red Techno Viking was 2nd place every single time. That is the definition of heartbreak right there, to be so close and then so far away. A brilliant effort from him, but again, it's the consistent players we see. And I call Clipnote out, I think it was week 3 or 4. I'm like, hey, he's on here every single time, puts it all together week 9.
Well, there you go. Now, of course, guys, we also did have NA East over on deck. We got to see them a little earlier on Courage. You know, this is the list. These more familiar names and even some new ones.
Yeah, we saw it went down to the wire already at the top, the 3 players who had already qualified, but Legendian, Relief, I know, to have made it on through. Aspect we spoke to, it shows the dedication. These guys said, hey, we haven't made it here yet. Let's give ourselves the best chance possible. They literally move to a new place just to be together, to be able to get the best practice and the best, performance opportunity to perform well, and Aspect does it. A worthy investment, has now made it on through. Creo sneaks in just at the end, if you remember, came down to the wire. But a very worthy 6 qualifying players here from NA East. Excited to see them.
And you know what? I'll never forget Aspect's opening, because it was the legit start of everything. He popped off like a 20 bomb, which we thought was never possible in the pre-qualifier. And he didn't pull through, but I just knew back then. I was like, dude, Aspect's got something special going on. So good to see him come in the final moment. So big week opener. Great week closer for as far as solos go, and good to see him pull through.
Yeah, for sure. Now, guys, of course, we've got to add the names to the wall. So, Lupo, do you just go ahead and
do the first one?
I was about to say, we'll get the first guy up there. Congratulations to Arkham, another double qualifier in there the last weekend. Do you believe?
I don't even know what the point is.
Wait, hold on. Twitch chat, everyone viewing, send Lupo your energy now.
I don't even know why you bothered. It's not going to work, dude. It's not going to work. Whatever, dude. I'm done with this.
It just did it.
All right, well, guess we lost Lupo there. He gained the magic touch, but just walked off the stage. Harrians in that final spot. These are your last 19 qualifiers for the solo qualification, and what better way to close the show and close the solo qualifiers than talking to the man himself who was in that last spot. Harrians, you there, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
What up?
So
amazing.
I'll ask you the stereotypical first question. You got out of the game, you checked the leaderboard, all was said and done. What was the first thing you did?
I joined my friend group's Discord, and I was just kind of freaking out a little bit. I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, freaking out is definitely the appropriate response. So after big semifinals yesterday, I saw you kind of VOD review, go through your stuff. Did you kind of feel it today? Did you know you were going through? Because we've seen you in the competitive scene all the time, but kind of in the World Cup qualifiers, you've been just outside the top and pressing towards it. What was the difference today?
Today, I would just say I played really consistent. I got into my late games. I was able to get early rotations and get picks on backside of zone, and eventually just played that consistently all the way through.
You were consistent indeed. The point total saw it. And I mean, your gameplay really speaks to just the decision-making process. So what's kind of going through your mind when you're in those tense situations? Were you thinking about the qualification spot, or is it just all about know your practice, do your drills, get yourself to the right spot?
I mean, I knew what I had to do. I had like 4 shadow bombs in my last game, so I knew I could at least make it through 2 moving zones, maybe even 3 if I used them right. And I knew that I went into that game with like 66 points. I knew if I picked up like around another 10, 8, 10, somewhere in there, I would definitely have a good shot.
I got a question for you now, Harrians. I mean, it felt like every time we tune into you, man, you're just slaying left and right. It was like you were a walking montage. What has practice been like for you? Because today was your day. You put everything together, and it was unbelievable.
Well, these last, the first few weeks, I noticed that the one thing that I was doing well was I was placing well. I was always like top 10 every game. I was getting placement points, and I was like 75% placement points. And I knew I need to start getting kills. So these last few weeks, I've been really just working on box fighting and taking early and mid game fights to get those better or easier kills early game, and then that'll take me into late game with even more loot.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Harrians, massive congrats. Thank you for taking time to talk with us. We want to give you the floor now just to plug your social, send thanks to whoever. Floor is yours, my friend.
Twitch.tv/Harrions. That's all.
There you go. Wait, is it Harrians or Harryons?
Harryons. Oh,
I was unintentionally right. Thank you so much. We'll see you in New York City, where we will get a slice of pizza.
Awesome.
All right, Harrians. Thank you so much. That was Harrians. Massive congrats.
Unintentionally right is the only right you ever are.
Okay. All right. Can't make it through an entire show. All right. Well, Fortnite fam, again, that is it. We know the 100 players that are going through to the finals, and I think the only fitting way, of course, is to run through all of them together.
Have to do it.
We have to do it. So I think we should go ahead and do that. You guys can kind of
literally told us we have to do it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You ruined the magic. Here you go.
There it is.
Taking a look at this. I mean, and Sundown, we'll start with you. We'll kind of go around. Give me 2 players, just out the gate.
Right off the bat, Prisionero, and I'll take the easy one, Dubs.
Dubs.
The Spanish player, and then the young sensation out of the East.
All right, Dr. Courage, you want to go?
That week 1 is stacked from NA, especially.
Crazy.
Week 3, looking at it as well. Top Banny, someone that was always there. How do you not point out Tifu? Also, Dementos, that duo partner originally of Mongrel. Now they're qualifying in week 3. Very talented players.
Monster?
Let's take a look here. NRG's AT, veteran on the scene, has been putting in good work, and just if I had to choose another shout out, why not give it to Buck, who had one of the most emotional videos, even brought me to a couple tears, man. Shout out to Buck, dude.
Finally, Lupo.
Honestly, the first spot I go to, the players from Brazil have always put on an excellent show. So anytime you have a chance, like Nix, anybody like that shows up on the board, I love that. South America coming in big. Yeah. I love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, the final week, these are the 19 that are joining us in the Fortnite World Cup Finals. We have our 100. Fortnite fam, be hyped. Send them all some love. Take time to just find their socials, find their content, send them all the love in the world. And I think the last thing I want to do before we go ahead and head out, Sundown kind of talked about this a little bit earlier on. And, obviously we want to celebrate everyone that's qualified. It means the world to them. But if you made it to finals, the top 3,000 players, and you didn't qualify, keep your head up. I know it's very easy to get down. I know. But you made it there for a reason. You're an incredible player, and you deserve to make it to the finals that day.
It was absolutely incredible, like we talk about, and Lupo even kind of touched on it as well. It has been a grind. There's one more week left. This was your last shot for the solos, but put all of your focus into that duo competition. Keep your head up, keep the momentum rolling, because you need the confidence, you need the strong mental game, and don't give up. If you want to keep playing, there's always something to play for, whether it's out there in the community, people starting to run their own events, or whatever happens in the future. You can do it if you set your mind to it and if you genuinely want to.
That's right. Even though you did not qualify, your journey does not end. Your Fortnite journey begins right now. Now, Fortnite fan, before we say goodbye, don't forget Week 10 has been moved. It is on the 20th and the 21st, and we're back an hour, so make sure to set your calendar and your times, because that is the finals for the duo competition. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here with us, Casting Games. Fortnite fam, thank you guys for being here with us and enjoying all the Fortnite action, but that's it from us. So, of course, don't forget to thank your bus driver, and we'll see you guys on the Battle Bus. We are getting ready, guys. The final opportunity for a lot of these players to qualify.
Use the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot, and Casker finds it!
Knocks the one player down to the box. Shotgun comes through.
Dropping down inside, shots back behind. The quick
Okay,
and the flip.
Let's go,
Are you
Armin.
kidding me?
Arkham here. The lowest HP, the Rocket gonna come in and protect himself.
He's in the zone. He's
Oh my God!
He got it.